Excellent. Well, we're back live at CMC, and I'm so happy to be sitting down with Michael and Maria. Please tell me a little bit about yourselves, and today we're going to talk about Blessed Stanley Rother. So I'm really excited about that in an upcoming film based on his life. So why don't you tell me a little bit about yourselves and how you got involved with this cause?
So I'll start by a little bit about us. Michael and María Scaperlanda we'll be married 45 years this December.
Congratulations.
I know.
And we have 4 kids and 15 grandchildren.
Wow.
Spend a lot of time with them.
And even though our kids went away to college,
I'll move back to
all far from us, everybody's moved back now, and they're all having babies by us, and it's just beautiful.
That is beautiful.
We're not even from Oklahoma. So
No, not from Oklahoma. And
they're seeking each other, I think.
Yeah.
we first learned about Stanley Rother from our kids. They'd come
Yes.
home from school when they were in grade school and tell us about him because they'd learn about him in Catholic school. But how did you get involved in
Well, that's how I credit even the cult of Stanley Rother growing in Oklahoma itself, because our kids, we moved there in the 90s, and our kids were getting the stories directly from people who knew him at the Catholic schools and everywhere they went. They had these great stories about this priest from the diocese, but he was a missionary to Guatemala, and my journalistic side was just like, ooh. So I started asking questions, and I did a bunch of small stories for Catholic media on him. And eventually, when they started the cause locally, I was asked by the Archbishop to work with the Historical Commission because I speak Spanish, and he knew me, and I think he wanted somebody that he knew could do the 2 languages and so on. So anyway, I got in on that then, and as things have progressed, it's just grown. Archbishop Coakley came in
2011?
2011, yes. And I met him on kind of a celebratory pilgrimage to Guatemala. He was the new archbishop, and we had just sent off all the stuff to Rome. So everybody who worked on this got to go on this pilgrimage. And he and I just kind of hit it off talking about Blessed Stan. And he graduated from the seminary that Blessed Stanley graduated, St. Mary's in Mount St. Mary's in Emmitsburg, Maryland. Yeah, they're both Mounties. So he was a little familiar with Stanley Rother.
He was in seminary when Stanley Rother was martyred.
Oh, wow.
And his parents visited the seminary, and he remembers all those things very clearly. And we were on a boat crossing to where we were headed, Santiago Atitlan, and he looks at me and he goes, we need a biography to promote this cause. I said, yeah, you do. So eventually he commissioned me to write it. So that's the most direct way that I got involved. But I've done lots of books, and this is not just the book project. This is definitely at a different level. We have a saint worthy of being a part of your life right there in Oklahoma.
So if your listeners don't know about, or watchers don't know about Blessed Stanley, just a brief biography. He born in Okarche, Oklahoma farming community in 1935. Everybody thought he was going to be a farmer. He announced he was going to seminary. He then went to San Antonio, flunked out of seminary because he couldn't learn Latin, which is sort of important in the rest of the story, and really wants to be a priest. Bishop sends him to Mount St. Mary's in Emmitsburg. He comes back, and he's not considered the brightest star in the sky or the sharpest tool in the shed.
No MVP there.
Yes, some other priests kind of look down. Why does this guy get ordained? 5 years into his priesthood, he goes to Guatemala to serve in the Oklahoma City mission there, and then was martyred in 1981. But he had learned Zutu, not only Spanish, but Zutu Hill, which is a Mayan language only spoken in 2 villages.
In fact, he was the only missionary from Oklahoma who was able to master Suchu Hill.
Wow.
I
So
call
he
that
must have
his
been brilliant.
first miracle.
There you go.
Here, this guy couldn't do Latin, and God allowed him to really connect with the people at that level. There's nothing like speaking the same language. There, and he did it easily. And you see him in all the photos with kids, and for him, that was family. That was
And he was put on a death list during the Guatemalan Civil War.
Okay.
And he wrote home and he said, the shepherd cannot run at the first sign of danger. He did come home for a little while, and then he told the bishop, he said, I told my people I'd be home by Easter or by Holy Week, and he did, and then was martyred a few months later.
Wow.
He died July 28th of 1981, and that is still a big feast there and also in Oklahoma. The people there still remember him. We even this last time when we went, we met people I had not met before. Oh yes, he baptized me, and it was like his spirit is very vivid there, especially babies that were named after him.
Sure, yeah.
The school is called Padre Ablas, which is the Ablas is the Zuju Hill named for him. They claim him, and it's beautiful to watch how they get him. And they say things like, I used to go to him for all my questions and all my needs, and I still do. And to them, it's a very simple thing. It's like, we don't need a big declaration, but
They know.
they know. Yeah, exactly.
That's beautiful.
It is.
And Oklahoma, huge football, college football especially. Right before we sat down, Michael, you were telling me a story about, it probably was when he was proclaimed to be beatified. Yes. Tell us about what happened that day.
So he was beatified in September of 2017. First American-born martyr, first male beatified. And so this beatification was going to be in this 20,000-seat arena in Oklahoma City on a Saturday morning, 11 o'clock Saturday morning. And the arena filled up. Thousands of people were turned away because fire code. And where did they go? They went to the local hotels.
All around.
And I just 11 o'clock Central Time is when college football starts on Saturday mornings in Oklahoma. And I can just imagine somebody from out of town who had no connection with Blessed Stanley Rother coming down to the bar to watch a football game, and every TV was on EWTN.
We have heard so many stories because there's also a big screen in the corner that is from the local, one of the channels, so local channels. And so they had it on their screen. And I've heard stories of people seeing people kneeling in the streets. And okay, we're 7% Catholic in Oklahoma.
Why are these people kneeling?
That's an odd thing to happen in Oklahoma.
No, exactly.
And an amazing thing, we had a friend who drove down from Michigan. She didn't get into the mass, and so they went to Okarche, to his hometown, and just celebrated there. So these people that could have been upset that they'd driven 15 hours or 20 hours and they didn't get in, were just excited to be there and be part of that. So that was 2017. 2023, we dedicated a shrine to Blessed Stanley.
Yes.
Largest Catholic church in Oklahoma, seats 2,000 people.
Wow.
And you need to come and see it.
You need to be there in person,
You
right?
need to be there in person.
You really do.
Yes.
This is your official invite to you and all your listeners and watchers. Come to Oklahoma and see with your own eyes.
Right on I-35, just south of I-40.
Easy to get to.
Easy to get to.
You can't miss it on the highway, which I love.
Yep.
And, even at night, it's all lit up. And we've had stories of people just showing up saying, I just saw this place and I wanted to see, what is this all about?
And just fabulous stories about people that hadn't been to confession for 35 years, going to confession. We walked in at our parish. We walked in one one Easter vigil, and we came in the side door, so we kind of come in at the front, and this guy stood up and he said, I'm coming into the church because of you. And Maria's, what are you talking about? And he recognized her from her book, and he had driven by the shrine, seen the shrine being built, learned who it was about, bought the book, and
fell in love
with Father Stan, and then the church.
I have to ask, it's no easy task to build a church, never mind a church that seats 2,000 and is beautiful. How did the money get raised for this?
So the Archdiocese hired some consultants to do
this story.
capital campaign. The consultant said you could probably raise about $30 million. The Archbishop said, let's do 50, and the campaign closed at 90.
Wow.
And so, and the church is
I
about,
think people were ready.
the church is about 50 million of the 90 million, but yeah. And
Wow. So no detail went
Yes.
unnoticed, I'm sure, with the design of that
Yes.
beautiful church
Yeah.
shrine.
could have built a $900 million. I mean, you could have gone.
But, the other thing about it is that it's not just the building. I mean, besides the fact that his body is buried there, any given Sunday, show up to one of the 3 masses in Spanish because they're bursting. It's a 2,000-seat shrine, and people are standing on the sides because it's alive. I love that is an entity that is live with people. You got to see it. I'm telling you, Mike.
I'm definitely going to have to make that visit.
Yeah,
And CMC will be in OKC next year as well. So,
absolutely.
but even before then, I'm going to try to get down there and
Okay.
see it because I'm excited. I'm
If you
so
can
excited.
spell Scaperlanda, you can find her.
Okay. I'll have to figure that one out. What do you think it is? So I think part of the story here, the draw is, especially in Oklahoma, they see him as one of his own. And really all Americans can claim him as one of our own.
Yeah.
That's so importantly, I think we see Carlo Acutis as well. And young people, I can resonate with him. Beyond that, what do you think is drawing so many people into the life of Blessed Stanley Rother?
He's ordinary.
Hmm.
He was a farming boy who knows a lot about the land when he goes to Guatemala. So part of what he did to fit in with the people there was work the land with them. And he used all his knowledge and all his training in that area to help them form co-ops and to do their own plot of land. And the church would help them buy the area so that they could actually have their own things. I think the fact that he was ordinary is very important because he didn't go there as a show. He went there because God asked him to be a missionary. And when he gets there and falls in love with all that is true and beautiful, and seeing God in people, Mayan people who speak mostly to this day Zutujil and then secondary Spanish, only God can arrange for that kind of detail. Family, farm, faith. These were the things from Okarche, Oklahoma that he took to a place centered on family, farm, faith. It's only God does those details.
So-
He couldn't have planned it, but he certainly used
said
Father
yes.
Stan.
He said, yes. That's the draw. An ordinary guy just like us saying yes every day.
And when we do, God takes those ordinary details of our life to make us holy. And really, it's that simple and that difficult.
And I think all those little details led him ultimately to be able to say yes when God asked for his martyrdom.
It's true. Yes.
Yeah.
And obviously he was bringing Christ to these people.
That's right.
And the love for them. You mentioned not many people can speak this language. It's not really even spoken many places. And he took the time to learn it and make that connection. Had the Guatemalans embraced?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, fully.
The number of kids down there that are named after him. When we go, and people know that we're from Oklahoma, even the kids, the grade school kids will just gather around us.
Yeah.
It's like this mystical.
Yeah. So
Sure.
they very much have embraced it. So the parish was started 16 years after Our Lady of Guadalupe appeared in on
Wow, it's
Tepeyac.
old.
So
Very
it's
old.
spread throughout, that area. And they had no resident priest in 150 years when Oklahoma City went down there. They had never had a vocation from that parish. And since his martyrdom, they've had at least nine ordinations and several more in the seminary.
Not from that area, from
Just in
that
that area.
parish.
Wow. It can only be God in his intercession.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly, yeah.
One of the things to note is that when Father Stan was martyred, body was being prepared to be taken back to Oklahoma. The people there requested, well, they didn't want to let him go, requested to keep the body. But then they said, can we keep his heart?
Wow.
And that touches me every time I think of it, that he had already given them his heart. And they knew this, and his heart is still there in Oklahoma. His family said yes to this.
So it's
Why? Because they know that he gave his deepest part of him to show them God, to live God for them, or God in the skin is what I call it.
And they also sopped up the blood from his wounds. That blood is still liquid to this day.
Wow. There's a miracle for you.
Yeah.
And that's not a miracle that we can count towards his canonization, but we certainly know we're on the right track.
It's not a natural thing.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
Certainly not.
Yeah.
May I ask what miracles have gone towards this cause? Are those public yet?
So there have been several what I'd call at least favors or small m miracles. And one, we had a person who recovered from ALS. We had a child who was born from a drug addicted mom, Tulsa, that was never supposed to leave the hospital. Now 7 years old and doing relatively well. A heart attack victim that was supposed to die.
We're everywhere.
Yeah.
So very active.
Yes. Yes. So definitely a good saint
Yes.
to pray to
Yes.
right now, or blessed soon to be saint.
I think it's wonderful also to note that he is a diocesan priest.
Yes.
He's not from his push for canonization is not coming from an order.
Which is typically what we see.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
So-
he is a diocesan priest
No, and
and did all the parish things that any parish priest does.
So it's normal. So even parish priests can resonate with him.
Exactly.
Yes.
I had a friend pointing that out to me after the book came out, and I had not even
Considered it. Yeah.
considered that. But the reason is because to him, it's like somebody like me. And he kept saying that to you, somebody like me. He is really for all of us that are trying to figure out God in a world that doesn't always call for God. You know, we do live in a world of MVPs,
yeah.
but he is, and Go Thunder, by the way.
But he's an MVP
But he is right.
diocesan priest.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
So another good patronage from him is
Yes.
diocesan priest. Now, you mentioned July 28th, the day he was
Yes.
martyred. That's going to be another important day this year in 2026 because there's a film that was made about him. And I believe July 28th is when the ticket sales.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the film and how that came about.
Well, Maria's book got in the hands of Martin Sheen.
Okay.
And
What is your book, by the way? Let's mention that.
The Shepherd Who Didn't Run?
The
Blessed
story
Stan-
of Blessed
yeah, Blessed
Stanley
Stanley.
Rother, martyr from Oklahoma, but now it's martyr for the U.S. Church.
I love that. So Martin Sheen got his hands on it.
And he fell in love with Blessed Stan, and that started a conversation with us over a couple of years. And he said, I want to help advance the cause. And finally he said, well, why don't we take the 20-minute documentary you have and turn it into a full-length documentary, and I'll narrate it for free.
Wow.
So he's narrated it, and he did just a tremendous job. He was really invested in it.
Yes.
I had sent him the script a week before we went out there to do the narration, and he called me on a Sunday morning, and we were at our son's house, and he had some other company over, and my phone rings, and it's Martin Sheen. So I'm going, yeah, I've got to take this call.
Really showing them pulling it up.
It's kind of become a joke with our kids. It's like, oh yeah, Martin called Daddy.
Yeah. But he said, who do I need to talk to get permission to make edits to the script? And I said, me, and you've got it. And so I talked to him that evening, and he said, this is great. And he said, I've made some changes, and I hope that's okay. So we went out there, and he would, read something. He said, well, that doesn't sound right. Can we change this? And the end of the movie, he completely wrote the very end of the movie. Did just a tremendous job.
He gets Father Stan. So really any changes that he made only enhanced how he portrayed it in the language.
And he was telling a priest that he was going to work on this film, and the priest said, don't you remember we went to Santiago Titlan? And so he had forgotten all about it, but then the memories came back. Oh yeah, we went to this place, and I learned about Blessed Stan many years ago, and
wow,
now remember.
Wow. Would you call this a documentary, docudrama? How would you?
Documentary.
Documentary. Okay.
Yeah.
And full length. It'll be shown in the theaters across the U.S. How many theaters?
About 900.
900. Fathom Entertainment.
Fathom Entertainment.
Usually. Yeah.
So we're calling on everyone who hears about this to go and show up, because it will help more things like this.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And buy your tickets ahead of time, because the theaters like to see that.
Yes.
Yes.
But it's August 25th and 26th in English, and August 27th in Spanish.
Beautiful. And we've learned from promoting other films that the sooner, as you just mentioned this, the sooner people buy tickets, Fathom loves to see that. The theaters love to see that.
Right.
That could unlock additional showing times, even additional showing locations.
That's right.
And we have a lot of parishes that, of course, listen to this podcast, and they've been so generous with getting the word out in bulletins and their own posts. So we're calling on you parishes to continue that trend for this important film.
We've had a couple of dioceses already contact Carmel Communications, who's doing our marketing and publicity for us, saying, how can we buy out theaters?
Yes.
So
that's great.
Parishes is.
But we love to hear. I want everyone to hear about him.
Yes.
He's truly an American skill.
Yes, in every way.
Is there a good place to reach out to you guys or Carmel Communications or Fathom if there are folks interested in buying out a movie theater or promoting this?
If you go on the Fathom website on upcoming releases, there's a page that's got this movie, and the movie's American Martyr, the Stanley Rother Story.
Okay.
So you can find it on Fathom's website. Also, Rother Doc, ROTHERDOC.com. That's Archdiocese up in the city has that page. And so you can go there, and then reach out to Carmel Communications.
Excellent.
And if you don't remember any of that, you can go to the Shrine webpage.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Which
Stanley
shameless plug.
Yeah,
it's a beautifully Catholic website. That's
exactly.
right. They did a custom design with us, and it came out very well.
You clearly got it in that.
Thank you.
Yes,
yeah,
you did a great.
I love that site. We always use this as an example for other.
No, it's so well done. I don't have things on there, and they always keep tabs of the upcoming events and so on. So it'll have all the July 28th feasts and all.
Excellent. We'll put all of those links in our show notes so folks can find those.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much, Michael and Maria, for sitting with me today.
Well, thank
you so much for the beautiful work that you're doing to promote this cause and for telling us about the life of Blessed Stanley Rother. You've told me this before we hit record. People need to go experience the shrine for themselves.
Yes, come and see.
Yes.
It's the real deal. You will not regret coming. And we'll show you around.
Just ask for Maria.
She'll be happy to be the personal
absolutely.
Tour guide. Yeah. Well, thank you again so much for joining me. And
thanks for letting us see this.
And thanks for all your work at eCatha.
Thank you. I appreciate it. God bless.
Thank you.